You'd almost guarantee that most people have seen the film and not many read the book. The Little Mermaid statue is not far from where the ship's berthed. If we had time, I'd definitely try a canal tour. The many ways of getting around include a horse and carriage. Behind me is the home of the royal family, and they can often be seen strolling around the grounds. The guards have loaded weapons though, and they are allowed to use them. We're in a coffee and cheesecake shop, and this is possibly the best cheesecake I've ever tasted in my life. This is the famous Church of the Spilled Blood. It's one of the most beautiful churches in St. Petersburg. It's built on the spot where Alexander II was mortally wounded and spilt his blood, so that's how it got its name. You can see the pavement where Alexander II was assassinated and spilt his blood, and that's why the church was built on this site, and they leave that open as a reminder. This is our fourth stop, Tallinn in Estonia. The tower is 258 steps high, so if you're energetic, here I go. I don't know how far up I am, but I'm having a rest. Local hairdressers. Now we're in the town square. It's a great place to stop and have a snack. It caters for all tastes. There's an Indian restaurant behind me. There's old Estonian food. There's pizzerias. In fact, we've just been offered an elk sandwich. This man was obviously from the war. Tivoli Amusements are on my right, and Abba Museum is on my left. Abba, the museum, is an interactive exhibition about the pop group Abba that opened in Stockholm in May 2013. There are photos of all the members of Abba from childhood, growing up, and you can listen to their personal stories if you purchase a handset and just touch it on the stars that are next to the various exhibits. So Frida is talking to me at the moment. It's Abba calling. This is the sound recording desk and the instruments on which so many Abba hits were written and recorded. There's also an area which is a music hall of fame. It's a really interesting museum. Zeebrugge is a gateway port to Bruges, so you have to catch the shuttle bus to Blankenberg and then get the train to Bruges. We're in the market square, which featured heavily in the film In Bruges, and I'm just sampling the chocolate, which I can tell you is fantastic. The market square has always been a centre of the town where people gather for political events, festivals. The most prominent part of the square is the 250-foot belfry. And if you've got the energy and can walk up the 366 winding steps, you'll have an amazing view of the city. This is the Church of the Spilled Blood, and the upper chapel contains a phial which is said to contain some drops of Christ's blood. So we've just done the boat trip. It takes 30 minutes and it costs €8, and it's well worth it.
We have plenty of chocolates. We have raspberry, we have spicy ones.
Welcome to Helsinki. Situated between Stockholm, Tallinn and St. Petersburg, it is the largest and the capital city of Finland. This is the market square, and you can smell the cherries and the strawberries. When I think of Helsinki, the beautiful scene behind me is what I think of. That and the fresh fish we saw in the marketplace. The statue is of Alexander II, and it's standing in front of the iconic cathedral. The cathedral is an iconic landmark, and it was built during Russian rule as a tribute to Tsar Nicholas I. The polka dot dresses on the trees are an installation by the artist Yayoi Kusama. The statue is also known as the Bronze Horseman, and he's pointing in the direction of the Peter and Paul Fortress. You can buy a combined ticket here in the boathouse. It's not expensive, but you do need 2 to 3 hours, and this takes you around the cathedral, the Commandant's House, the Museum of Rocket and Space Technology, the prison, and there's a history of the fortress. You can visit the Museum of Medieval Torture Instruments if you're brave. This complex is a visit in itself. I recommend you come in Kiel Woche, the festival of the tall ships. There's an international market, food and drink from every country you can think of, and lots of attractions. That's the time to have fun here. You can do tall ship cruises where you learn to climb the rigging and sail. Or you could just stay on the cruise ship and use the lifts. Stockholm is one of the largest and best preserved medieval city centres in Europe. It's famous for three things: IKEA, Abba and Nobel. And the Nobel Peace Prize is presented in Stockholm every year. Unfortunately, we haven't had enough time to do everything we wanted. The vertical clearance for ships is 65 metres, meaning that Arcadia sailed under with 10 metres to spare. What better way is there to spend an evening than looking out over this beautiful calm sea in this amazing light? Oh, I know! Looking out over this beautiful calm sea in this amazing light with the gin and tonic. Easily rectified, I'll just pop into the piano bar.